The place of women in any endeavor cannot be overemphasized, and given their enormous contributions to social-economic development, there can be no meaningful advancement where women are excluded. As the world becomes increasingly aware of the important role of professional women or professionals play in the corporate world. Now, the private sector in Nigeria is gradually closing the gap in gender equality, as many women are now being appointed in senior management positions, challenging gender stereotypes in male-dominated professions. While women have contributed positively to the progress and growth of the nation through their professional achievements, there is need for more advocacy for women to be given more recognition in the corporate world. Well, joining me to look at this and, of course, understand this is a woman, of course, a woman, the role of women professionals in nation building. She's the vice president of the Professional Women Network, Dr. Titilayo Fowokan. Dr. Fowokan, it's good to see you in the studio.
Good afternoon to you.
I think it's the first time I'm having you this year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
So I can still say Happy New Year. Yes, immediately I thought about this topic, it was you. And first I want us to do an overview, yes, of the role of women in nation building. I'll add economic development, because when we say only nation building, because I'm a business person, so I also like economic development. What really is the role of women in all of this?
Okay, let me start from when you talk of women, some things that you associate with women. And I would say that if you look at the development of entrepreneurship within the country, you can see a lot of examples, which I will try to go into later, but I just want to start from that. Let's take the house unit. Because if you're talking about building, you look at the house unit, the place of the woman in the house unit. The woman is more like the financial manager. She's the person that makes sure that everything is running well.
Yes.
And for every woman, they'll tell you that before you even talk about the children, you look at, okay, your husband have to be good. And going back to the Bible, if you see a man that is looking good, then and is married, you probably say, I know the home front should be okay. So I think when it comes to the role of women in nation, in this sense, the women have some attributes that makes them to be able to, for instance, they are a go-getter. They have resilience. You know, when you look at COVID, all those things, you see, I was thinking, women were more like, oh God, this is not really helping us. We need to do a lot, our children, that, and they have to stay at home, make sure they do homework, online classes, everything, and they still do their own work. And then if you take it further, you look at when they want to do something, they're determined. So all these attributes that you see in a woman is what has come together to make them unique when we are talking about this topic. Now, let's now go to the issue of professional or career women. It's even another ball game. Apart from you're talking about the house, you're also talking about yourself and talking about your job. And you're keeping the three. And now you now have the extension, the social part of it. Your religious sector, your family. So you find out that a lot of women don't get cut off. They are more like, oh, my mom, my dad, my siblings, this, that. And apart from that personal things that they carry, they have work, they will resume at the normal time. Some don't even close at the normal time, they close late. Now you get home. This is the funniest part of it. You get home at the same time with your husband. He drops his jacket and sits down. And you wear your jacket and get to the kitchen. So with that, you still go into the kitchen, make sure you prepare everything. You try to put off your clothes. The man probably just put on Tolu Ogunjobi's program and is watching. And you come back again and you finish with the dinner and you're already thinking of the next morning. So you have that in you as a woman. Now bringing that to your professional career is now makes a difference. A
different thing again.
Yes. So God has just been, I don't know, maybe God did overtime over women. Because the way, and I say this everywhere I go, men has power. No doubt, but women have strength. Yes.
There are two different things, power and strength.
And strength, yes. Because it's the strength, you are tired and you are still going on. You can, well, I want to lift on everything. As a man, you say, oh, as a man, I'll carry it, it's heavy. I won't lift it with you as a man. But my inner strength can make me to do more than what you're carrying, but you won't know that I'm carrying a weight. And I look at women at times, what they're going through. Let's look at this country. Look at the security situation. By the time they talk, they say more women than men, women and children, because you will see women with the children. So definitely those two will be prone to these things. Men can still struggle and fight. When we say women are weaker vessels, but at times I say, well, they may be weaker vessels, but they have some strength that propels them. That's resilience, that determination, they're willing to go an extra mile. Even when they give you something to do, they don't leave it to you. They still wait and say, okay, if there's any problem, I have plan B, I'll switch over. They always have that alternative option. You can imagine, I will take children to school. Okay, when you take them to school from school, I'll go to work from work. I'll quickly do this. I'll branch at the market.
Back at the market.
You know, and if you look at, so you now ask a question, how do they juggle it? How do they cope?
That's really key. I must agree with you. I wanted to talk about also women holding political office. I think the rightful thing should be about 35%, if that's the affirmative action. I know we are not doing anything close to that, but I will ask this question in two ways. Do you really think that our women are ready? You know, some political parties, I won't mention names, had some conference sometime recently, bringing women together, trying to get women to elective positions. Do you think that the environment is set to allow women also play that role, even at that level?
Let me say that if you look at the secular world, we used to think women are not ready for executive positions, but in 2021, we start seeing the changes.
About 6 CEOs
within that year.
Women, yes.
And they are role models. They have changed the narrative. Before we used to think board is for men, but look at it now. You're seeing women strong in the board, and they're making waves. They are causing changes. And you are seeing the organizations moving forward. Now, when you come to politics, we also think maybe women are not right for it. It's been seen that politics is a men's world in this country. Maybe some other people, maybe not like that, but in this country. And because of the way politics is played, so women may not have that ability to struggle through. But we have women that are resilient, that are ready to give what it takes. I'm not disappointed in some women that I see in politics. I'll take an example of Honorable Dabiri.
Yeah.
In fact, when the issue of diaspora came up and she was put in charge, you know, you look at her and say, would she be able to do? And she's really, she's making waves. She is. And she's making a difference. And now we know what is happening to our Nigerians out there. We're seeing action. We're taking some moves.
True.
And so that's an example. And you see, a lot of women has also gone. We have got deputy governors who has made changes. We have currently, I think Ogun State has a woman as a deputy governor, and we're seeing what she's making waves.
Of Kaduna State, too, and of some states.
The deputy governor of Kaduna State, I met her at different times, and you know, when we were doing some conferences there, and the way she would put her across, when the governor was not around, she was the acting governor, and people were like, oh, this is a mama. You can, so the women ability, that women nature is brought in. We may say we are not right, but I believe that we have to start from somewhere. The journey of 100 years starts one day. You can't say until when you are ripe. A child does not start walking the day the child was born.
No.
It starts from crawling, holding table, from holding table to taking a step. We can also, and that's why I believe that if we start in our little constituencies, local governments, I believe that a woman can run it.
Well, coincidentally, this local government is being headed by a woman. So go ahead. So you have another point. One more for you.
So let's start from our local government. Let's move to the states. And because we tested in the states, it's just that we've not gotten a female governor. But we see female deputy governors who are actually making a difference. And I would not want to take it out of how God made women. There are some times that we look at things from end to end. We're not just going to say, oh, this thing, I'll throw it away. But just look at it and then, okay, fine, take it through the thinking process. Well, people believe that, let me give you another, they believe that, okay, when you have women, they don't work together. I can tell you that in my work life, I've been working with women in my team. And 75% of my workers are women. So it all depends on we developing ourselves. And I always tell my fellow women, let's develop ourselves to position ourselves where we want to be. And that is necessary.
Let's not talk about something also very interesting. Population of our womenpreneurs. If I say entrepreneurs, that's going to be covering on. So now let's talk about womenpreneurs, particularly in SMEs. What impact do you think what impact are they making?
Oh, they are making a lot of impact. I would... You permit me, I'll just mention some names because I have to just take note of some names that strike me when you talk about womenpreneur. And I will start with Tara Feladruti.
Yeah.
She's made an impact in the beauty world. You can't talk of cosmetics and those things. That's you may not see all these names, big names, but if you actually go down to look at the impact they are making, there's nowhere you will mention Tara and you will not see some differences. We have Olajumoke Adenawo. I actually had to take my time so that I don't make mistake in their names. The day I listened to her in terms of consulting and architecture, my son said, look, that's a role model for me. So we have womenpreneurs who are making a difference, and we need to see how their businesses are thriving. We need to see what they're doing. We need to see how they put the motherly touch into the way they do their leadership. And so when you're talking about women in terms of womenpreneur, in terms of leadership, they put that motherly touch into what they do. They put empathy. You know, they carry them, and they're making a difference. Rough and tumble.
True.
Everybody's seen the brand name.
True.
So it's not until when all of us put ourselves in the room and say we are all politicians that we're making a difference. True. Because we're still heading somewhere. True. We have people that are strong in that area, and we have people in entrepreneur. Mo Abudu is another example. Media, in terms of media. So we have womenpreneurs who are making a difference and making waves. And some of them are not people that everybody will be shouting and shouting. Tech industry. We have a lot of women, young brains. I'm not talking about women that are old, young brains that are coming up in tech industry. We don't know their names because maybe they are just coming up, but they are making waves. And for all you know, with the way we are now, COVID has turned our life into a tech life.
Yes, it has.
So these women that you are seeing behind the curtain now, that are not yet known, will start coming out. There's a woman behind Flutterwave. All of us know Flutterwave, but there's a woman behind their technology.
There's this also woman, the main one lady, Funke Opeke. So she's also, you know.
So a lot of women. We have. There's this lady, Victoria Chinyere Avuru. She's a Black Bear restaurant. Mama Cass. I look at that, and everybody knows Mama Cass today. Everybody knows what do we call it now? There's also this other restaurant. Food is critical.
Yes, so it is.
So you can't just. Now I will come to industry a bit. There's a lady. She's a colleague, a former colleague, and somebody I admire, Sheoni. She was with NBC. She made a lot of difference when she was there, and she's moved on and on and on and on to other places within manufacturing industry. So currently, I think she's in age 11s or so. So I'm just trying to give examples of women that we've not seen their names. But we know that they are making waves in the industry. We know they are making waves in terms of entrepreneurship. We know they are making waves in terms of the profession that they hold to, and a lot of women are coming up, and we just have to encourage them. So
encourage, yes. Let's take it from that point of encouraging them. What more can be done to open up the space for women to take charge, to do more businesses, to get into the boards, to get into, you know, the offices of the CEOs and all of that? What more do you think can be done? Are they updating themselves as much as they should so that we can be, they can be set for this competition? I
want to give kudos to one of the women body, WIMBIZ, Women in Business.
Yeah, bit of WIMBIZ.
I so much cherish the way they encourage women to build themselves for that boardroom. Because you can't, it's not a magic. You've got to develop yourself. True. It's what you have that you give. Never that God none a bet. You can't give what you don't have. Yeah. So if you don't develop yourself to give what you have, then you just be where you are. So if your aspiration is to enter that boardroom, then you need to learn what does it take for me to enter the boardroom. Anytime I listen to Mrs. Awoshika, I get so, you know, they say, I get angry in myself that, oh, Titi, you're not yet there. So these are people that have challenged women. And for you to get there, you need to develop yourself. And I said we have the ability to do it. We need to get ourselves to really be seen. We need to be seen and known to be what we want to be. When you, let's take the corporate world. When your bosses see you, that you're ready, you're a go-getter. You're ready to give what it takes. You develop yourself. You're committed to developing yourself to get to that achievement. You're looking to the next level. I'm at a level this year. I don't want to be there next year. I want to move up. One day, you'll be recognized. And I think it's changed. Narrative is changing now. Women are being given opportunity to express themselves. They're being given opportunity to deal with situations effectively and giving them the support. And that's what we're seeing in everywhere. If you go to the professional world, now it's not more men presidents. We're now having women presidents coming up. And during their tenures, they make moves, they make waves. You see differences, you think things change. So it's just for you, first of all, position yourself, prepare yourself, and an enabling environment needs to be created. Give us the opportunity to express what is in us and give us the support to be able to achieve what you have given us to achieve. And I think with what we have and what we can deliver, you see the difference. So I believe that environment is necessary.
It is that conducive environment. I'm almost wrapping up finally. Now, I wanted to ask for challenges, because when we see that smooth sail, it's not always that easy. We hear a lot of stories, we read a lot of stories of women trying to get to the top. So what are the challenges, and how, both on the boardroom side and the business side? I know the business side mostly is always finance, maybe other issues which we could also identify. But what are these challenges, and what are the quick wins?
I would say that there are some myths about women. That women, because things like childbearing, they take it as a negative once you go on maternity leave, and then, but organizations are changing that. Yeah. Because
you'll be away for 3 months, about 3 months.
Yeah, I think Lagos State give like 6 months.
Wow,
to
that's a lot of time.
Staff. So things like they look at you and as if you don't have a say. So you get there and you're intimidated by the discussions going on. Probably you just want to say something, and somebody looks at the men, just look at what does she have to say. So you have these challenges. Then you look at family affairs. You've got to take care of the home front. So you need to have an understanding family in terms of husband, children, so that they can give you that support. So because if not, when you get to work and you're not being at your best, it does not make you to have an inroad into it. So you need that support. Then things that come with, they look at your nature as a woman. You know, most times you don't present yourself as a weakling. You don't present yourself as a weakling. But because that's the general tendency that they look at women, they have limitation, or they cannot hold. In fact, when it comes to even expressing yourself is a problem. When it comes to even coming to top secret decisions, let me put it that way, they believe that women, they can't keep it, they can't manage it. And I've had women that take disciplinary actions, and they'll be smiling with you, and you don't know that they already have an action that's going to be taken against you, because they don't want to mix relationship with, they separate the difference. So you have this talent, people just looking at you and saying you have limitations, but you have to want to prove yourself. And then when it comes to the issue of opportunity, the opportunities are just there. When you prove yourself to be ahead, I personally, I don't believe that I will wait for somebody to train me. Once I see a need to be filled, I go ahead, even at the expense of the money that is concerned. I don't mind saving towards achieving that. And quite a lot of women that you see they develop and invest in themselves to be able to be there. And that same thing transcends to people coming behind them or people around them, because they expect the same thing to happen. So the opportunities are there. It's for you to put yourself out, develop yourself, and for organizations to give them a trial. Let's allow them, put the cards on the table. This is the expectation. This is what we expect you to do. These are the time frame. And I believe that any woman that says that I'm running out of my target should be able to know how to package themselves. It's a lot has to do with you projecting yourself. You know, when I sit in interview, I said, sell yourself to me in 2 minutes. If you're going to tell me anything about yourself that will make me to like you or want to accept you or want to give you this particular role, then you must be able to sell yourself in 2 minutes. So that's what I always tell my fellow women. Learn to sell yourself in 2 minutes to anybody that comes your way.
Brief wrap. Very interesting stuff. Let's just wrap up maybe in just 1 minute. What are you thinking as we move on in 2022? Well, not really political now, but generally, what is your projection for women in businesses? Well, COVID, I think we're getting a little better now with what is coming in, maybe in Nigeria, but not even abroad. But what are you thinking about women moving on as we as we go.
Okay, you know, my primary constituency has been taxation.
Yes.
I won't talk without talking about
She's a tax professional. She wears many caps, so of course.
I won't talk without talking about taxation. And I actually looked at, okay, for instance, we have the Society of Women in Taxation.
Yeah.
So I actually had this vision of let all women that are professional women come together. Let's see how we can contribute to our nation, whether you're in politics, you're in industry, you're a womenpreneur, you are in academics, you are a journalist. Let's come together and think through how can we fulfill our role as women, professional women, in the development of our nation. So we are packaging this together, and this month we're going to Cotonou.
Wow.
Just to have a leverage where we can have fun, we can be free to express ourselves and talk to each other. We have the ambassador from, of Nigeria in the Republic of Benin is hosting us as we arrive there the week of 16th to 19th. And then after that, we want to see what's happening over there. So we have a sightseeing on the last day where we come back. So my plan is to see, as much as possible, encourage other women to iron sharpness iron.
Yeah.
Let's sharpen ourselves. Yeah. Let's not be seen to be only homemakers. Yeah. We can make a difference in the home, in our office, in the nation. And that's the ultimate. And globally, we can make a difference in the world. That's where we should be targeting.
Well, like I said, she wears many caps. I've been speaking to Dr. Titilayo Fowokan. She's a tax professional, SWAN, Association of Tax Women in Taxation. She's also a chartered accountant. Yes, I know she also has something to do with that. So like I said, it's been really nice talking to her. But she's the vice president also of Professional Women Network. And she's been speaking to us about women in nation building. Of course, economic growth and development. How they can contribute their quota to the growth of our country. Nigeria. Thank you so much for spending your Friday afternoon with us. We appreciate this despite Lagos traffic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice seeing you.